What is wrong with you?
I don't know. You okay, Steve?
I just had the worst idea because it would just be so annoying, especially to like
More annoying than
audio
what we
only.
normally do?
Yeah. Is when I just saw the hand taped on.
Steve's talking about things that you guys can't even see.
No, my thought was, we always do like hum, 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 but to do like a full on like metal growl, but it would just be like so like peaking everything, so loud and so out of nowhere.
Yeah.
People also would be
The
really,
limiter would catch it.
be really bad because I don't actually know
What does that have to do with the hand?
Nothing. I just saw that while I was
Okay, and that made you laugh.
finishing. No, I was laughing because of the metal growly thing, and then I saw the hand flipping me off.
Steve is on his own page today.
Let's start the show.
Let's start the show. This first ad was sent to us.
No, you start the show.
Oh, hi, everyone. I'm Ryan.
And I'm Steve, and this is 60 Cycle Hum, the guitar buying, selling, trading, modding, fixing, breaking, reviewing, playing podcast.
Getting fancy over
What's up?
here.
This first ad was sent by Dave Santander.
That's what I was going to say.
Multiple Adventurers Club champion.
Longtime veteran of the Adventurers Club over here.
This is a Parts Caster Strat Style 2024 Rainbow Glow in the Dark. I crafted a rainbow Rockstar guitar, craving a Fender body fused with a Jackson neck. This magnificent musical masterpiece boasts a kill switch, roller nut, and roller tremolo bridge. Let's delve into the dazzling details of its pickups. The orange pickup shines as an S1 EL guitar cartridge track type. What the? Okay. I don't know what do any of those words mean.
It's a blade rail pickup. Like,
okay.
Whatever.
Adding elegance to the ensemble, the green pickup grooves as a single coil invader type, injecting energy into the guitar sound.
These are all like cheap eBay knockoff pickups. None of them are name brand.
The blue humbucker roars with a 15K resistance and ceramic magnet, embodying a beastly power in its tone. This rainbow Rockstar guitar is truly a symphony of style and substance, blending vibrant colors with powerful pickups to create an instrument that stands out both visually and sonically.
You know what's crazy about this guitar?
That they're asking $969 for.
And that it sold.
There's no way it sold for that amount.
I don't know. It doesn't tell us on Reverb what it sold for, but this piece of gear has sold.
I bet it sold off of Reverb and they just marked it as sold.
And it's got that link view similar gear. Yeah, right. What would they show us if we were able to click that?
It would just show you that Carvin, it's not Jason Newstead.
Oh, I know. The one that has the numbers on the
numbers.
Yeah.
I forget who it is.
Yeah.
People yell at me in the comments for not knowing whose guitar that is.
$969. I have trouble wrapping my head around that for a parts guitar that's got a very charming finish going on, but also very sloppy in a lot of places.
Yeah, $969 is a lot for a guitar that has a very charming hole completely straight through the freaking neck.
I know. Through the fretboard. What fret is that even? Like that, it could be like the 14th or 15th fret or something like that, or 17th. It's on a fret marker, so it's going to be an odd number.
I think it's the 17th.
You're probably right. They drilled straight through the fretboard. Accidentally, I'm assuming, to mount the neck. There's all sorts of irregularities here, but I don't see any reason why this
19th fret.
Why this wouldn't be a playable guitar. It has a fun look. Like, I don't hate the concept of the look. I hate the execution of the glow in the dark paint. One, they don't even show a photo of it glowing in the dark. Two, you can tell that it's this milky clear coat that's been like jizzed onto the body. Like, it is like, look at this.
No. Oh,
it's gross. Wow. It's gross. That
how okay, look, I've never refinished a guitar.
Not like that.
I've got a refinish project or two that I need to do, that I need to start. I don't
It looks like it was finger paint. The glow in the dark paint was finger painted on over what looks like kind of a somewhat attractive bluish gray stain. Now, like,
excuse me.
And the thing I don't understand is the back of the guitar looks amazing. They should have done that on the front.
The back of the neck has like some orange peel going on.
Well, yeah, it's like a glitter stain that they put on the back of the neck. Like, I think the back of the guitar is my favorite part. Is this like kind of fruit stripey,
that's
rainbowy thing?
It's really well done. It looks like they worked with whatever grain was on the back of the body,
right,
to like create lines and stuff.
But yeah, there's a definite texture going on the back of the neck that looks gross. But like visually, it's fun. I love the great big arcade button kill switch. Obviously,
yeah. I like the clear pick guard.
Yeah,
and I feel like the also what you can see of the routing is really clean, which a lot of times it's not.
Right.
That kind of thing.
Well, it's probably just a parts body. It's probably just a kit
body.
Yeah,
no, I'm sure.
Also, those saddles on the bridge. Every time I see that style saddle that has that like alligator texture to it, I think of that as cheap. Like that looks cheap. And also like all the saddle adjustment screws are pointing out all pokey. Like I doubt this thing's set up well.
Ryan, it's got roller saddles.
I know.
Fine.
I know.
It's got roller saddles. Does it have a roller nut too?
Yeah, roller saddles. The thing you need on a Strat trim. No one needs that on a Strat trim.
Roller saddles and roller nut.
Because the strings don't roll over that part of the saddle.
No,
it doesn't make any sense. You're adding rollers where you don't need them. Like the nut, I almost understand. I understand the concept. I don't understand the concept of roller saddles on a Strat trim.
Where we are going, we don't need rollers saddles.
My heart breaks if someone did pay close to $1,000 for this.
There's no way.
That had to be like a make an offer price. Let's see what we can get. And I'm hoping that no one paid over like $500 for this, and that's even like pretty high. Because it's all parts. It's a Jackson style neck, not a Jackson neck.
Sure.
So it's probably all just like parts from wherever.
Yeah.
It's not hard to find like cheap Jackson style necks with the shark fin inlays and stuff like that. It looks like it probably started out as a raw neck without any finish on it. A Strat body is, you can find them all sorts of places. Even if this is a great one, you can still find them anywhere. They don't mention the brand or the breed of the Strat body. But the grain on it looks fairly attractive. I don't know, like they threw a lot of ideas at this. I think the concept is a lot of fun. I don't hate looking at it.
I think this neck was originally meant to have, this might actually be a Jackson neck.
I'm going to say that,
hold on. Because the reason I'm thinking that is it does appear that it is supposed to have a Floyd Rose nut on it.
That doesn't mean it's automatically a Jackson.
Well, some sort of like, I'm saying, but like also, it might not just be a generic.
There's also Jacksons out there that are $199.
Yeah.
But
every Jackson guitar has a Floyd Rose nut on it. That's actually a law. Look it up.
That's the law.
Look it up.
That's the law. So my final take on this, my closing thoughts is that the person who did this should have pride in the concept of I like the rainbow fretboard.
Did you pick this guitar because it's June?
No, this was sent to us in May. It's just happened to cross my path. But I thought it would look fun. I would have picked this any month, but because it is June, I'm gonna tie it into Pride Month because why not? I think they should have pride in a bunch of these ideas. I like the rainbow fretboard. I think that is fun. I like the rainbow stripes and like a zebra stripe sort of thing. What is the bubblegum called? Fruit stripe. I like the fruit stripe theming.
It's called Tricks.
It's not called Tricks. The fruit stripe theming and treatment to the back of the body. I don't think they should have pride in the finishing execution. That gloopy, gunky looking what I'm assuming is the glow in the dark paint.
Right.
No, you should be ashamed of that.
I mean, maybe it looks really when it's when it's in the dark, it looks cool because it'll be like more splotchy.
Here's
But in the light, it looks like trash. No, hold on.
Here's the thing with glow-in-the-dark guitars.
No, there's a detail. Okay, go ahead, because there's a detail also that we missed.
If you're playing on a stage that's so dark that people can see that you're using a glow-in-the-dark guitar, how are you able to do anything else? Like, you got to be like in pitch black to see glow-in-the-dark stuff most of the time. UV reactive paints is where it's at. If you want to pop on stage, just UV reactive finishes and get a black light up there. That's how you pop. Like every time I've seen a glow in the dark guitar, it doesn't deliver on the hopes and
doesn't
the dreams.
Glow in the dark usually pop under black light?
It probably would, but wouldn't you like to also have something that pops in regular light?
Yeah,
get
true.
yourself a fluorescent neon painted guitar.
Also, this is just gonna look under a black light. This might just look even more like a crime scene.
Yeah, or a cheap motel.
Well, that's what I mean. Okay, Ryan, there's one detail that either you glossed over or I don't know what.
Okay.
Did you look at that output jack?
Oh, it's backwards. I like that though.
You like that?
Yeah, because then you can put
Mikey. He likes it.
You can put a right angle in there and tuck it behind the strap.
I guess.
No, I have no problem with that.
All right.
That's like a dealer's choice personal mod. Like, and anyone who bought this could flip it around easy peasy.
Yeah, no, I mean that part is true. That part's fair. I just I saw that and I was like, really?
I would
really, because normally when you see that, it's wait, hold on, is this an optical illusion?
What an optical illusion? No, it is flipped around.
Yeah, it's just backwards, right?
Yeah, it's just backwards.
Okay, because I know there's the whole thing where people will take it.
Oh, were you thinking it was sticking out?
Yeah. No, I was thinking it was backwards.
You thought it was an Audi instead of an innie.
The Audi I've seen before, and the Audi makes sense to me. The full-on just flipping it 180 degrees is weird to me.
I think that this way makes more sense to me than the Audi versus the innie.
All right.
Although the Audis do look kind of cool to me. Like, I tried to do it one time and I couldn't get the jack I was using to fit. But it does look cool when people are able to pull it off, in my opinion.
As far as this ad is concerned, I think I'm Audi 5000. I have nothing else to say.
What would you price this at if you knew someone was going to buy it?
$250.
Wow, pretty low,
dude.
There's a lot of work into it, but the execution is rough. It's like the concept is there. Like like a Kiesel could take this concept and run with it.
Yeah.
And do something really fun and well executed with it. But this homebrew version of this is there's a lot of ideas here, and I think they need to be spread out to 3 or 4 guitars with an idea each.
I'll just put it this way,
and with better execution.
This is all just random, whatever. We don't really know what it is. There are guitars on Facebook Marketplace. For example, actually, I don't even need to use the Facebook Marketplace example. I'm going to ask this question that I've asked 1,000 times. Not literally 1,000 times, but I can never remember. Did you sell the Mustang Bullet?
Yes, I did.
And
someone paid above market for it.
Mustang Bullet is a very popular mod guitar. I've seen Mustang Bullets with like this type of mod going on for under $200, where people just went to town with
right.
pickup swaps, all this stuff. So that's where I'm looking at this, and honestly, even $250,
yeah,
may be overpriced.
As far as the parts go, yeah, $250 is probably just about right. If this person's trying to get money back for their efforts, I'm sorry, this was a hobby project.
Yeah.
But like, maybe we're the fools here because maybe someone paid $969.42 with $69.99 shipping.
If somebody paid that, then they're the fool. The fool.
Yeah, but someone did it. If someone did it, then who are we to say what things should and shouldn't be worth? Like,
I think this person, like, they probably used a bunch of reverb bumps or something, and then they sold it to their cousin who didn't actually buy it. They just needed to get it off reverb, and like, it's actually a money laundering scam.
That's what I was going to go to next. Maybe this is a money laundering thing. Like, maybe all these guitars that we see on reverb that are super overpriced, it's just the mafia laundering money by selling and buying like really crappy guitars.
Look, I'm watching
from each other.
I'm watching the original Dune right now, and I happen to know that the Harkonnens were smuggling messages by stuffing them into dead bodies.
Yeah.
So that could be what's going on here. Don't ruin the movie for me. It's only been out for 40 years.
Oh man, I'm enjoying the fantasy that I'm imagining right now of some mobster, Jimmy the Fish. Like, is his whole part of the operation is to make these weird modified guitars. Jimmy, make us another weird guitar to put on reverb so that they can just launder $1,000 at a time. And they just keep passing this guitar back and forth in between smugglers.
I mean,
they never even ship it. They just keep relisting the same guitar.
This is
selling it for more and more.
This was listed by Swan's Crossings Enchanted Guitars. So who knows? Who knows?
We're just speculating. Swan's Crossing. We're just making up fun stories. Swan's Crossing, if you want to tell us what this actually sold for, we're very curious. Let us know in the comments section. All right, what next, Steve?
Hold on. I should have done this. I should have done this before.
Yeah, you should have done this before.
Should have done this before. I found the listing. I don't know. It keeps moving, or I keep moving, one or the other.
Mine stays put. We're talking about the microphone.
This shop's got a bunch of custom mod stuff.
Maybe it's one person. Maybe it's Jimmy the Fish over there putting together money laundering guitars.
Okay, I don't want to get too into this. I know this is riveting for the folks at home. And speaking of the folks at home, some of y'all folks at home like to support this show through our Patreon. Patreon is how we pay for certain things like
that's right, Steve.
Shipping affordable pedals, a thing that I did just a couple days ago. So thank you to these folks at the $1 level. Joining us is Hugh Schick. Is it Schick? I like to pronounce it Schick, but maybe it's Skick, but I think it's probably Schick. That pronunciation.
We actually have an ad from him this episode.
Hugh's going to give me shit for not knowing how to pronounce his last name. At the $10 level, Fred, and also at the $10 level, Nick Spano, who I believe is Jesse Spano's brother.
I don't know who that is.
I definitely don't think he's ever heard that joke before. So thanks to...
Is it a sports person?
Jesse Spano is the character from Saved by the Bell.
Oh. I don't think I ever heard his last name.
No,
I know it's
a woman.
His first name.
So that's problem number one.
Oh, it's not the other guy.
No.
Jesse Spano is the girl.
Jesse Spano is the girl.
The curly hair.
The girl that dates the other guy.
Well, that doesn't narrow it.
I mean, everybody dates everybody on that show.
Is she the curly hair?
She's the curly hair.
Okay,
girl.
all right, yeah.
She's so excited.
Oh yeah, she is so excited because of caffeine pills.
Yeah.
Now it's all coming back.
It's all coming back. Man. All right, this episode is also basically brought to y'all by Chase Bliss.
That's right. I used to Chase Bliss pedal in a video a while back. I used the Mood Mark II in that Temu video.
Right.
It did a lot of heavy lifting in that video. Yeah. You can really hear the tones coming
Do you think
through.
it did more or less heavy lifting than the Meowdulator?
The Meowdulator was like the triggered sound after being triggered by the random tone generator. But the Mood, not the Mood, the
Habit?
It's not the Habit. Is it the Mood? The Mood Mark II.
The purple one.
The purple one. My brain is breaking right now. It's behind me. It is the Mood Mark II. It was the last in the chain, so it was doing the final business on everything. And it was doing a great job scrambling everything all the way up.
If you want a pedal that'll do the final business on your signal chain, head on over to chasebliss.com. Let them know that Ryan's Temu video sent you.
And if you're not chasing Bliss, you're going the wrong way. Still remember that catchphrase that came up.
Yeah, I'm not going to repeat mine from last episode.
No, don't.
It wasn't very good.
It was not good at all.
This next ad was sent by Nick Carter, another returner.
Do you remember when these came out?
Yeah, vaguely.
These were like 2001, 2004-ish, somewhere in that territory.
Rat Fink Lace electric guitar. Ed Roth Rat Fink lace guitar and amp. Guitar is like new with hand tag. Plastic still on pickups.
Steve. That's what that stands for.
Beautiful.
Pickups.
Beautiful pearl white finish. Only issue is extremely small scuff on the pick guard. No disappointments. and would look awesome sitting next to a Electra Rat Fink bicycle. I don't know what that is. No shipping. Make serious offer. May trade towards a muscle bike, flying wedge, or fast. What's a muscle bike?
This guy wants. He's talking
wants
about
$1
like beach cruiser bikes.
I've never. Okay.
Yeah.
Never heard that called a muscle bike.
Well, there's different varieties, Steve.
So were these made by lace pickups?
I don't know if actually made or OEM'd or
sure,
whatever. Like
they
Lace was definitely involved.
Imported by Lace.
And you know what ended up
2002. We have all the information.
There we go.
The
I was right. I'm a big fan of Ed Roth and his art.
Ed Big Daddy Roth.
Yes, he's the guy who came up with Rat Fink. No one would be surprised finding out that I'm a big fan of Rat Fink stuff. I thought about buying these when they came out. This is way before the show, 2000. Excuse me, dinner's coming back. 2002. I love the neon acrylic pickguard and detail on the headstock. I love the metallic white finish on the body. I love the pinstriping, and you got the Rat Fink decal there. The funky headstock shape and all that. I'm not a big fan of the shape of the armrest area. Like that upper horn, that lower horn, yes. I love it. I love that shape. I wish it had more of an extended armrest area, but it does kind of work for the Rat Finky sort of look.
It's kind of giving travel guitar down there.
It does. It's a very small bodied sort of thing. Do you know what the fate of these was? Because they didn't sell a ton of them, I'm assuming.
Apparently the fate of them were to be listed on Facebook Marketplace for $750.
These bodies and necks wound up with all the branding buffed off. They all wound up on Guitar Fetish.
Really?
Yeah, I saw Guitar Fetish listing these bodies for years, trying to move these things. They didn't sell enough of them, and I'm sure there was a warehouse full of them, and they all ended up on Guitar Fetish. Part of me is like, man, is this going to be a collector's item now, even though, it's manufactured well after the passing of Ed Roth. So it's not like Ed Roth himself oversaw this. It's a licensed sort of thing. But it's kind of cool. Originally, they sold for $369. I kind of wish I had picked one up back in the day, even though that in today's money, that would have been like $600 to me.
Yeah.
So I can see why I didn't buy it, and that would have been probably the most expensive electric guitar I had bought.
It looks like
actually, looking back, it would have. I don't think I'd paid more than like $300 for a guitar before that time in my life.
These are kind of all over the map on Reverb. It looks like they're kind of in the 600 plus range.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
But they don't come up very often. Like there's none listed right now. The most recent one listed was listed 2 weeks ago and sold pretty much right away, and it was listed for $830.
And also, like, this body style does kind of match what Lace is still doing today.
Yeah,
they have those really funky shaped guitars. I dig it though. I think if these came out now for $400 or whatever, I'd be tempted to chase one down and do some modifications on it.
Would it need to be local? Would you set up?
I'd order it off of Amazon.
Would you set up a reverb alert?
No, I'm saying if they came out new, if they came out new today,
right?
Like I kind of wish that this had taken off. It was never going to. It was never destined to do well. But if it had taken off and we could have seen some more body shapes that kind of lean into this wacky sort of like theming, like those horns, the upper and lower horn there. Like I really like the theming there. I really like the shape. I just wish it had a bigger butt. It needs a bigger caboose, It's my only complaint here.
Yeah, they did make these in other colors, and they did make a bass in the 90s. Apparently.
Oh, yeah. Show me the bass. They made that in the 90s?
I don't know. That's what it says, but,
Well, it was very early 2000s, so I could understand the confusion. I doubt that's from the 90s.
Yeah, the back of the headstock also says 2002.
See? Same era.
How embarrassing for this listing.
Show me the bass again. I like the bass better than the guitar. The shape works better for it.
Yeah, the undersized body feels more balanced on a bass. Probably
Yeah.
it's probably elongated, or it might. No, I think it's elongated.
I like the color better on the guitar though.
Well, they made the guitar in a bunch of different colors too.
Sure.
But I think the bass, I've only been seeing black ones on Reverb.
Cool ad, Hugh. Thanks for sending that in.
Oh, Hugh sent this?
No, I'm sorry. Nick Carter
Nick
did.
sent this.
Hugh sent in the next one. Thank you, Nick Carter. Cool ad, Nick. Thank you.
We're flying through this episode.
Good. I want to be done. I want to go to bed.
All right.
It's been a long week already, and it's only Tuesday.
We got a box.
Yeah, we did.
I can either open this box.
Crack open the box, Steve.
Or I can swap, because I haven't heard back.
Crack it open. Tell the tale.
All right. So we got hit up a few weeks ago by the folks from this company. I'm going to keep this company a secret.
Yeah, no one's going to be able to figure it out.
Until we open it.
Yeah.
And they asked if we wanted to interview their like lead engineer and someone else. It was like their lead engineer and like their DSP guy.
And if you've ever heard a 60 cycle hum interview,
they're terrible.
You know that's a bad idea. There's a reason why we don't do them. It's we're not great at them and people don't like listening to them. So Steve actually pushed them off on to Philip over there at the 40 Watt podcast, which is a smart thing to do. Whenever someone comes to us for an interview, we push them to interviewers like Philip or Blake or whoever else.
Hefty. This might be a little clue you guys can see, but we were hit up by the folks at MERIS. They're celebrating their 10-year anniversary this summer.
And I can't believe this.
And
they agreed to send Steve a pedal.
Yeah.
Even though all we did was send them to someone else's direction.
Yeah,
you know?
I basically said, you know what? Because they said, you know, for this interview, we'd also like to send you a pedal to check out. And I said, well, we don't do interviews, but I'll let me put you in touch with Philip because he's really good at interviews. And whenever his interview goes up, well, I'll post a link to it.
Yeah, of course.
And hopefully it goes up before this episode does, but it probably won't actually at this pace, but that's fine. But then I said, but if you want to send us a pedal, I'll open it on the podcast. And they said, sure.
I love Steve's hustle.
So I was like, okay.
He didn't even volunteer me to do a demo, which is great because I don't want to work too hard during the summer.
I can't. This is in there so tight, but this is the Mercury X from MERIS.
That's the reverb, right?
This is the reverb.
It's like a $600 reverb. It's a super
advanced reverb. Let's look at these notes. Designed and built in the United States. Thank you for purchasing a locally made product. All engineering, design, research, and artwork is created by MERIS in Southern California. MERIS instruments are built, tested, and packed by hand. We strive to source all components possible in the U.S. Circuit board assemblies are populated with all electronic parts in our factory in Southern California. Metal is sourced, cut, and bent, and bent, and finished by a combination of machine and hand craftsmanship in Northern California. Packaging and printed materials are made in Los Angeles. And I appreciate this. All full PDF manuals are available online. So they're not, they're going to print out this little note and let you know. So thanks so much to the folks at MERIS.
I was listening to samples of that and it sounds like there's unbelievably high definition.
There's no way I'm going to be able to unlock everything this thing does.
No one can do that sort of stuff.
But I'm really looking forward to hanging out with this pedal.
It sounds cavernous, like all these like simulated spaces and stuff like that.
And I mean, MERIS is really well known for their reverbs.
Right.
And this is like the like pinnacle device of theirs right now.
There's people who are going to be angry at us now. They're like, all you did was send them to someone else's way and they sent you this pedal. That's the business, I guess.
We didn't only do that. We've said this before. It's easy to dismiss it as something like that. But,
I know.
But what we did
is networking.
10 freaking years. They're celebrating their 10-year anniversary.
So are we.
We are in our 10th year as well. So we kind of understand that hustle.
We built an audience. We built a media empire. And every now and then we get the fruits of our labor.
I'm not sure if their new stuff is out yet. Let me take a look at their social.
Is that new?
No, sorry. They're doing like a bunch of 10-year anniversary things.
Okay.
Kind of to celebrate. They were at the LA Synth and Pedal Expo. I'll take a look at. You know what? I'm going to post a link up to their YouTube, of course, and throw up a link to the Mercury X. Why not?
Yeah, absolutely.
You guys go check it out.
Why wouldn't you do that?
Yeah, no brainer. Absolute.
Huge thanks,
No-brainer.
Mercury. Huge thanks, Meris.
Yeah.
Mercury. Huge thanks, Meris. Blown away by your generosity.
Yeah.
So
Thanks so
thank
much.
you. Yeah.
Folks, go check
Steve's
him out.
got a new toy.
Go check them out.
Go check them out.
Very excited. That means I have to make a video now.
You should. You should use this as an opportunity to try to make a video.
I know. I've got some other. I've got a really. I'm going to talk about it on the next What's New.
You got the rev amp that runs direct. You can run direct into your computer.
I know.
You don't need mics or anything like that. Just record yourself doing some stuff.
Ryan, are you ready for this topic?
I'm ready for the topic, Steve.
30 minutes, 55 seconds into the episode. You introduced a topic because this topic is coming from you.
Oh, I got tagged in a thing. I lost it. Let me pull it up. Here it is. Okay. I was completely unaware of this run of guitars. Apparently Heritage has a budget line called Ascent, and it only sells through certain retailers. Which one does the link that I was sent to they're selling through Manny's.
Yeah, is one of them. Swee Lee in Singapore is another one.
So they also have Harmony guitars in this budget line that are acoustics. They have these acoustic harmonies that are like 130, 175. Oh, they have one for 445. I wonder what that's like. They have ukuleles and stuff like that. But the Heritage one really confused me.
Yeah.
And it's a bit off-putting to me because that completely flies in the face of the Heritage narrative. And I realized that Band Labs bought out Heritage, 5-6 years ago, something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
And they've been using the Heritage factory in Kalamazoo. Is that what it is? It's the old Gibson factory. They've been using it to make the Harmony guitars. I've got the Silhouette. I love it. It's an excellent built guitar. But now to see these $175 down from $195 single cut import bolt-on neck guitars that have that full-blown Heritage headstock on them.
Yep.
They say the Heritage in their normal logo on the headstock. I feel like it's a bad move. Like, what's your take on this?
Oh
Steve?
my take doesn't matter. This is the take that matters. This is from the Heritage Owners Club user Jackman. This is sad to see. I wish they would have developed a quote value priced brand like other companies have done, Epiphone, Squire, LTD, etc. The guitars look like cheap Asian bolt-on neck poly monstrosities, and it sucks to see the Heritage name on the headstock. Say what you want about Gibson, they never hoard out their main brand. At least they aren't dumb enough to do it today. Coming up with a unique brand name can be tricky. Maybe they could just put a W in front and swap the E for an O. Heritage would be more appropriate for this venture.
No, that's too much.
Hope the guys contact me for future brand suggestions. I'll work for free.
Like, I'm totally on the same page as him. Like, they should have had a different name, and it could have been like by Heritage. Yeah. And I know that in the listing is called Heritage Ascent. That's the model.
Yeah.
The Heritage Ascent Collection. It's the collection. It's called the Ascent Collection.
One of the things that's called out here too.
It should have said Ascent or the Ascent Collection in big lettering on the headstock, and then the truss rod cover could have said by Heritage in a different typeface. Like,
right.
You got
or it could have just said, the Heritage, and then right underneath, like, actually
the most valuable thing Heritage has had all this time is their story.
Yeah.
And their story is that they're the original Gibson employees in the original Gibson factory making guitars the original Gibson way. Like, this is it. I feel bad for those USA employees because this kind of pisses on their legacy. Like, it pisses on their branding. It pisses on all the goodwill that they've built And now there's no reason for this to exist because BandLab wants to be in the $200 guitar market. Like, put Harmony on there. Harmony has a history, a lineage in selling student model guitars and selling budget guitars.
I'm going to send this to you. So
the way you wrote that out.
This is what I think they should have done.
Steve, that's the best graphic design
I've ever
seen you do. That's actually great.
This is peak art for me.
The heritage. No, it's really good. Like, I see exactly what you were going for there, and I agree with it.
And so basically what I did, and I'm going to post the picture in the drive so you can use it. But I just wrote out the heritage and then in block letters, all caps,
modern,
to give it a very modern,
clean.
So the heritage is cursive, the classic heritage logo.
Right.
And then Ascent. And the Ascent part looks like something like Neural would have done. It's like hyper modern.
Right. I'm like the Fesley logo. It's over there
now.
Yeah.
No,
the pink one's right there.
It is like the Fesley logo.
Right.
It's just very modern, very simple. I can't use this page now because I don't have enough lines. But the thing is they should have gone with something else. And people are pointing out, like, if you don't want to ditch heritage on it, PRS, they're all PRS and then in big letters SE. GNL still says GNL Tribute Series on the headstock.
I still say put it on the truss rod cover. You know,
they didn't do anything. There's nothing until you flip it over. There's nothing that delineates it, which I guess
if I ran into one of these in the wild, I would assume it was some sort of AliExpress counterfeit attempt. Like, why are they trying to cash in on the heritage name on this $200 guitar?
Now, the weird thing about it is I will say, like, Hamer kind of had this problem back in the day.
Yeah.
Where, like, all of their Korean stuff, there was Hamer, and then there was it Slammer by Hamer, or was it just Hamer Slammer?
I've actually got a Hamer right there, that white Strat, and it's got the Hamer logo on it, but it is a Slammer.
When did you get that?
I helped my brother-in-law buy it like 12 years ago.
Oh, okay.
And it recently came. They just gave it back to me. They're like, here, you do something.
Right, and it just says Hamer on the headstock.
Go grab it. So Hamer is an interesting company that it might exist right now. It seems like it goes in and out of ownership over the years. I love Hamers, the Slammers. I've never owned a proper Hamer, but Slammers were a really great budget guitar to get into in the late 90s and early 2000s.
But some of that's to my point is you had a non-Slammer Hamer.
Yeah, but this is a Slammer series Hamer. Like, this is an MIK.
Right.
And it's really nicely built. It needs to be cleaned up and fixed up quite a bit because it's dusty and crusty. It's been sitting around without any love.
What I'm saying is it's not a Slammer series because it doesn't say Slammer on it.
But I understand. It's a Korean Hamer,
right?
And they made a bunch of Korean Hamer. You're right. It's not a Slammer series. It's a Korean Hamer. I'm sorry. I'm getting all confused now. But then they made the Slammer series. My first electric guitar was a Slammer, and great guitar, but their MIK Hamers, they did kind of muddy the waters a little bit because the USA Hamers are just, they're fantastic. They go for big money and they deserve to because they're fantastic guitars. But then, you pick up an MIK for, a tenth the price or whatever like that. And they're great. They're great, but like it's not the same thing for sure.
And I suppose you could make the argument that like there are a lot of brands that have done that. Yamaha, whether it's a Pacifica 112 or
I kind of just talked in circles back there. I'm sorry. I never really made a point.
Pacifica 112 or like a Revstar. What's the highest line? Is the highest line the Professional?
Yeah.
Like the Revstar Professional and the Revstar Element, they both say Yamaha on them. And if you don't know what you're looking at, you might not really
there's a big jump in quality.
$1,600 difference.
No, there's a big jump in quality from the Element to this, what is it, the Standard?
The Standard.
Which is the $800 one.
Yeah.
And the Element's like $499, I think. Huge jump in quality there. I couldn't, because I got to play one of the Japanese ones, which is like one of the $3,000 ones.
Right.
It felt a lot like the Standard that I own.
Yeah.
It didn't feel that different. Like it's just a matter of where it was made, I think. Apparently there's slightly different stuff going on inside the body. Like there's more carbon fiber work inside the body of the Japanese one.
So,
but I don't know exactly the history of what happened to Hamer, but it seemed like the USA side of it disappeared at some point. and then just the MIK shell that was left over just kind of petered out and has changed hands a bunch of times over the years. But could that happen to Heritage? Maybe. I don't know. Like, this is just like we had the experience where years and years ago we had a contact at Band Labs who was absolutely fantastic. And the early days of them acquiring Harmony and Heritage and Tysco and what the other brands that Mono, they own Mono, right?
Yep.
Is like, oh, they're doing great. Like they're making some really great products. This is the first time I've seen something that Band Labs has their name on it and been like, oh no, oh no, what? Why are they doing that? They could have. They could have come up with so many fictitious brands, or they could have used Harmony, like I said. They could have done Harmony guitars, or like bring back Tysco guitars. You own the Tysco name. Maybe you don't have a license to the Tysco guitars. You just have the license to the name, so you're doing pedals under it. Also, how come there haven't been more pedals? Like, I'm feeling a little bummed out now thinking about all this.
Hamer is a division of Jam USA.
Well, that sounds promising.
Jam USA so it's part of KMC Music.
Oh, so they're...
And apparently Marshall?
Yeah, but
I don't know.
I haven't been hearing great things about where Marshall's at, so...
other featured brands include... I'm kind of confused because I don't know how accurate all of this is. Because they list Digitech, Randall, so this might not be quite up to date, but that
might just be a distribution company.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't know what's distribution, but the Hamer website does have a 2024 mark on it.
Interesting.
So Hamer does apparently exist right now. I'm not seeing any for sale easily, but I'm just going off of Google results.
If you want a good Explorer, I think they're called their standard model, which is a wild name it's a very boring name for a very wild shape. If you want a good Explorer, go track down a Hamer made in Korea standard. Like, those are good Explorers. Like our friend Sam, I think he has one and he loves it. Yeah.
So it looks like they are back. The Wikipedia said that they reintroduced 5 models at NAMM in 2017. But that was 7 years ago. And the fact that I can't find any for sale, it's also popular it's also possible that somebody just has that like trademark date automatically updating on that website. The website does look relatively clean, but I guess websites by 2017 were fairly standardized. So
if this channel was doing crazy good and we had money to throw around, I might be the type of person to buy up brands like that. Like, let's buy Hamer and own that brand and like revitalize it or somehow and then sell it. And
what you're saying is you would be interested in becoming one of these YouTubers,
like a mogul
that launches a guitar company.
I don't want to actually do the work. I just want to tell other people to do the work.
You just want to tell other people that you own it.
Yeah.
You just want to be like, you're gonna be
No,
like,
here's what I do. Here's what we do. We buy brands, we hype them up. Whatever happened to that brand? Someone should buy that brand and put all this work into it. Wouldn't it be great? But we're the ones who are holding it. We hype it all up and then we sell it for more.
That's basically, I think that's called
capitalism, Steve.
Since it's only a single brand, I don't know if that's technically illegal.
I don't know.
But it feels a lot like what they call a pump and dump.
Well, that would be insider trading or something like
that.
Yeah.
Well,
but it's not stocks. It's you're owning the actual thing.
A pump and dump is when you own a bunch of stock in something and you have a big audience and you say, everybody go buy this thing. And then once it goes up, you sell.
Right.
And
you make everyone a sucker.
And usually in those situations, when you sell, you are holding such a big chunk, big percentage of it, that it tanks the value of the stock for everybody else. They're just left holding the bag.
I would buy Hamer. I would buy at BC Rich. I would buy like a bunch of legacy brands, and then just make a couple years worth of like solid, Korean import style builds, and then sell the brands off.
What is Hamer like your number one brand that you'd want to revitalize?
My heart is there. My heart is in Hamer. I want Hamer to exist, Like I want people to be buying Hamers instead of Gibsons and Epiphones. But that's like just because I have a soft spot for them. I realize that most people probably don't care about Hamers at all.
What was this topic? Oh, the heritage.
The heritage.
Okay, if we did. Okay, we've pitched this idea of redoing the graphic. I think this.
And that's really all it would take for me to feel better about it. Like if it had a different name on there, bold, to be like this is a sub brand, than to be like, oh, here's guitars that represent heritage, because there's no way they do. Like, and I'm not someone who's in the market for a heritage ever. Like that's not my style of guitar, but they've spent so many years building this legacy.
Yeah.
Building this identity behind their brand, and to just undermine it that way.
I didn't realize I did this. I didn't do this on purpose, but maybe subconsciously I'm a genius. The G dropping down between the E and the N, I think is really key. It pulls this whole thing together. And I think if you got somebody to do it who was just like trying to crank, they would have like double spacing between this part. Like they would treat these as two separate logos, so they wouldn't. Like, sure, there's a merging there.
Okay,
I think I'm pretty good at this.
You're pretty, Steve. You should be a graphic designer.
So
you could be an art director. You sketch stuff down and then tell the artist to go do it.
Yeah. Do you think if the brand was called like Ascent by Heritage, would that? I realize that would fulfill what we're the concept. But I'm thinking more about like what would other names be?
I think it would be kind of funny because it would be Ascent by the Heritage.
Ascent by the Heritage sounds like it's a song by some like producer group.
It sounds like it's a song by a clap and shout band. The Heritage.
What was the you had like the Wrecking Crew? Who was the one at Stax Records?
Like a studio band.
Like a studio band. That's what that sounds like Ascent by the Heritage.
By the Heritage, yeah.
But like what else? What would you change the name to if you just wanted it to be like Epiphone or Squire or whatever?
So I was looking up synonyms of heritage, and I feel like that's a good place to start. There's a couple that stick out to me, a lot that don't. Bequest, no. Birthright is kind of fun, but also kind of icky in a weird way. Convention, no. Dowry, no.
I feel like that's kind of, dowry feels like,
Dowry could be a model name.
The word dowry just,
I know, it has bad connotation.
Implies like selling child brides.
And then endowment is like, okay.
It's too long.
Yeah, endowment. All right, what are we talking about now? A different type of euphemism.
You can call the brand endowment, but only if it's full hollow body guitars. Nothing else.
I like this one. Or endowment for like, that's what they call their super baseball thick neck. Baseball bat thick neck. I like this one a lot. I could see this one as a budget brand sub name.
Yeah.
Estate. Estate by the Heritage. I like that. Estate. Fashion. Why is that here? Inheritance, 2 on the nose. Lot, no. Patrimony, no. Portion, share, no. None of those work. But I think estate works really well. I still say dowry could be a fun like model name.
I don't know. Okay, let me look this up because I think you're like in an interesting place.
Like estate, almost it has like that Esquire kind of like feel on the mouth, Estate by Heritage.
We talked about this earlier. I think a really good name, if Gibson still doesn't own the rights to it, would be to bring back Kalamazoo.
That would be fun. Like I don't know who owns Kalamazoo right now, but if no one owns it, like BandLab should own Kalamazoo. and can reconnect it to heritage. Like that would be cool. That'd be really cool.
So
and then they could do those Kalamazoo kind of like Mustangy builds.
The 3 founders of Heritage Guitars were Jim Derulo, Marv Lamb, and JP Motes. So I think there's something you could do there. Like you could use
fun names. Yeah.
You could use the last name initials and just do like DLM guitars by the Heritage.
DLM. Yeah.
And tie in some history there. Of course, like in that case, they might protest because they're like, you're not going to, like, we don't want to be associated with import builds. Like we were Gibson employees.
Family members might be like, hey, what the hell? Yeah.
So maybe you just need to name it after the guy who owns BandLab.
And for the record, I don't have an issue with there being a sub brand of Heritage to give people a taste of what Heritage does at a lower price. Like, I don't have any problem with that. But putting the Heritage on the headstock, it just feels wrong. Of all brands, it's the worst brand to do that to.
They could have called it KMR guitars.
Like, it wouldn't bother me if Fender one day was just like, you know what? All Squires are Fenders now. I would be totally fine with that. Like, it wouldn't bother me at all, because I feel like the original core, like, concept of Fenders is Leo Fender trying to crank out affordable guitars and make a profit in a factory setting. Like, I don't, if, you know, Korean manufacturing had existed for him in the 60s, he would have been all over it. He would be like, well, this is where we're building Fender, you know? To me, that doesn't feel like a conflict, but for Heritage, that feels like a conflict. For Gibson, I get it. Although I still think there could be import guitars that say Gibson on the headstock. Like, it doesn't feel like they've sold themselves down the river enough times, but Heritage felt like something that could remain pure. I don't know.
It's definitely weird, especially for like a smaller brand.
Yeah. All right. Should we move on?
Yeah. This last ad was sent by...
This one was sent by Hugh.
Where is it? Graphic Westcreek by Westcreek. Let's see what this says. Westcreek DC, it was $419.
So they tacked on an extra $200.
This guitar has been tested and all electronics are in working order. I bought this new in April 2024. My focus was using it to create a piece of art. I consider this essentially a working, playable piece of art. Sometimes your brain plays tricks on you, because I read this as, I consider this essentially a working, playable piece of shit.
I don't think that's quite the case, Steve.
It's currently showing in my St. Louis Art Gallery, 31 Art Gallery. The overall guitar neck, the area of pink is the factory finish. The areas black was painted by me personally. The portions of the guitar that I painted are no longer factory finish and would therefore not hold up to the same protection as a factory finish. New set of strings. I haven't really looked at this guitar much. I'm not saying it is a POS. I'm just saying that's my brain just saw the word art and wanted it to say shit.
Steve made a logo in this episode and now he's disparaging all art.
I'm so good at art. I'm really not at all.
You really are an art director now. Jeez, Steve, what happened?
Okay. We got orange peel right out the gate.
Well, yeah, but like what we have here is a halftone pattern image of a woman's face, a close-up of a woman's face. I will say I appreciate that this takes into consideration my art rules for guitar.
Yeah.
And it has made the graphic diagonal on the guitar, putting it at a good position to have the graphic be vertical, or at least be well seen by the audience. It's not one of these ones where it's only vertical when the guitar is being hung. Like diagonal like that, that's a good move. Like it reads when the guitar is being hung vertical. It reads when the guitar is being held horizontal. I think it's a good execution here. This person's trying to make money off their art, so that's why the upcharge. They paid $200, or maybe these things are cheaper. Maybe these are like $140 or something like that. So they're trying to get some profit for their effort. I want to know the process. I wish she would have said, or he would have said. I'm assuming a she. I don't know why, because the art is of a she.
The store is Jared's Custom Guitar Shop.
He.
Though.
Okay, let's assume it's a he then. I want to know the process that he used to paint this. Like, I doubt it's hand painted, but I'm sure hand processes were involved. Like, It doesn't look screen printed the way it wraps around the edges. My initial thought was that it was a laser cut vinyl of some sort, but that doesn't really fully make sense. It
looks like it should be some kind of vinyl, but it's obviously not.
If they hand painted this, I am impressed, because they did a good job. Maybe they did hand paint it.
Okay, let me make some notes, because I'm going to put a link to this. This is at Jared. This is a guy named Jared Minnick.
It could be hand painted now that I'm looking at it close. I'm a little surprised.
I'm going to make a link to this Instagram. He's got a whole bunch of pictures of this guitar, and his whole Instagram there's no other details, so I don't know. The woman looks like somebody, but I don't know who. But check that out, dude.
Oh, that's fun.
And I'm not going to screenshot any of this because I'm going to put a link in the description.
Yeah. Everyone go look at this guy's art.
But he does a lot of these like hash pattern, kind of things that, it looks like it's all integrating different ideas. Here's one that's kind of like, is it Rothko that did this? The comic style on a Kramer Beretta.
Here's what I'm going to say to our audience and to you and
to Liechtenstein.
To this guy. I think you're thinking of Liechtenstein. He shouldn't be listing these guitars and showing these guitars to sell these guitars. What he should be doing is showing these guitars to get work doing this to other people's guitars.
Mm-hmm.
Like if he's hand painting these the way that I think he is, like, I'm impressed. And I would pay this guy $250 to do this to a guitar. Like, no sweat. Like, to figure out an image with him and have him do the work to paint a guitar, I would do that. Not if I have to drive more than 35 minutes, though.
I mean, he does.
No, like, I might ship him a body and be like, I do your thing on this, because I think it looks really cool. I dig it. But doubling the cost of a budget guitar to do this, that's a harder sell. Hugh sent this because he's bought this model guitar before and he had complaints about it.
Oh, the Westcreeks?
The Westcreek double cut, the DC Junior thing here. It is what it is. It's a very bare bones sort of design. You can't raise or lower dog ear P90s like that. I think he was having issues with that. Wraparound bridges can be temperamental, and like you can't adjust the neck because it's set neck and stuff like that.
This one's supposed to have the adjustable everything.
I know. But he had issues with it. I don't remember the exact issues, but he had some issues with it. But I don't know, like I could send the Cower Titan body to him and be very happy.
Yeah.
Or I could send the Silver Sky to him or something like that. Like, look at the art and then think about a guitar you have that you would like to see this kind of treatment on, and then hire the guy. I think that's my pitch.
I mean, he's got an Instagram page. He does a ton of these. So he's like a professional artist who apparently owns an art gallery.
Or he's just displaying there.
The way it's written on the site makes it sound like he owns it.
Maybe he owns it.
So yeah, if this is something you're interested in, again, I put the link below. Go give him a follow. Maybe it'll freak him out that he picked up 500 followers or something.
He's not going to get 500 followers.
Okay, look, we get a click through of like.
I mean, if you guys want to,
he gets a click through
for him.
It's like a click through of like what 1%. So he's going to get like 10 followers.
I'm trying to figure out what I would do.
20 followers. I think you should do it on the Silver Sky because it would piss the most people off.
It would be kind of cool on the Squire Baritone.
It would be cool for
to have white paint on a black
for you
guitar.
To send them that kit body in its
the Harley Benton kit.
Yeah, in its current state.
That would be fun.
And because he's going to work with the colors that exist to put more art on top of it.
I might be giving that guitar away. The neon orange and yellow kit Harley Benton that I built
as a hoop jumper, or just
no. I'm thinking about giving it away to this during the Surf Guitar 101 festival in July.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's like a raffle sort of thing. It's a raffle where like they raffle off guitars during this. It's the festival. the Surf Guitar 101 Festival, where they have a bunch of surf bands, and they raffle off guitars to put money in the band's pockets for their efforts. So that's something I'm going to support this year, and I'm putting aside a couple guitars for that. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, man. It's time.
It's time to vote.
It's time to vote.
Oh, man. Is this going to be a hard one? We've got the graphic Westcreek, we've got the Rat Fink, and we have got the Rainbow Rockstar.
All right, the Rat Fink for me is out because it's the most production of the three of these.
I think I'm going with the graphic Westcreek.
Oh, I was going to go with that Rainbow Rockstar.
All right.
It's spinning.
May the odds be in your favor,
it.
Steve. I'll start it off in the spin slice. We ready?
Yeah.
Does it feel good?
No.
There we go.
What if I just grabbed it right there?
Steve got it. Sorry, Hugh.
So congratulations, Dave Santander.
Of course, Dave Santander won again.
I take my vote back.
We're going to have to give him a 1099 at the end of the year, man. Oh, man.
I don't think we're going to hit $600. I mean, I could be wrong.
No, I don't think there's a chance of that, but it feels like he wins a lot. If you want to learn how to win, just study Dave's moves, I guess.
Yeah. This song was sent by RBX. Let's take a look at this email. If I can find it, which I can.
Wasn't last episode's song great?
It was.
We just launched that video yesterday as of recording today, and I'm still thinking about it.
This song's called Shame by RBX. Attaches another one of my songs that I recorded using the electric hand drum. I hope Henry is enjoying learning to play the drums.
dissonant, and unsettling, but also somehow warm and comforting at the same time.
No, it's a good concept. I would say like maybe it felt a little long, but depending on, I would put this in an album as like probably something in the like minute long range. That would be like bridging songs together.
So there was a very interesting video game in the late 90s, early 2000s. I think it was like a PC game called The Neverhood. Are you familiar with The Neverhood?
No.
Made by the artist responsible for Earthworm Jim.
Oh, okay.
And for the cover art on
Doug TenNapel.
Yeah, I think that's his name. And it was this character living in this claymation world, solving puzzles. It was a puzzle game.
Okay.
And part of the puzzle was musical. There were like these bits of recordings that you were trying to rejoin together and stuff like that. It was all very kind of like disjointed and dissonant and unsettling like that. And like you couldn't really tell what was being said, and like the rhythms would shift back and forth, and it was very claymation-y, and it kind of took me back to that. I wonder if I could track that game down for my kids to play. It was a fun one, but also unsettling and creepy in the way that claymation can be. All right. Bye, everybody.
Stay grounded.